So, do you think someone who's looking to get into wildlife filmmaking can make that their full time career, wildlife filmmaking, or even wildlife photography also? So,
Wildlife photography, I'm not sure how
okay,
how feasible it is as a career option.
okay,
Uh, Unless you manage to tap the uh, a particular niche in the market.
hmm,
But filmmaking, yes, I think I
okay,
think I think it is definitely a career option, but provided you put in a lot of your time and effort into
yeah,
it, and more than anything, you have to be passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, it is not a money making uh, career. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you like it, it's a way of life. So you
yeah.
want to live that way, then you just have to do whatever it takes to live that way. You know what I mean? And money will come along if you're looking for that.
So let me ask you one thing about since you said wildlife photography may not be may not be able to transform into a full time career, right? What are the general avenues where people can sell their? Can you sell your services as a wildlife photographer, or do you sell your photographs after you've shot it?
See, if you get, let's for example say, if you become a National Geographic photographer, no, for the magazine or something, you go on assignments, then yes, definitely there is a great opening for you. But
Yeah.
if you're a freelancer, then the danger is that a few of your photographs might get sold,
Mm.
not on a regular basis. So you will be ending up doing other photo shoots, fashion, or like in a product, anything. It can be anything,
Yeah.
provided you are again passionate about photography in general. Wildlife photography, the danger in that is it is uh, one that you can't be too specific. You can't say that I will shoot tigers. I want to be a tiger specialist, or like a leopard or big cat, for example, or
Yeah.
this or elephants or anything like that, because most of these big wildlife you find only in protected areas.
Yeah.
Uh, so to go there, to travel there, it's all expensive. At the end of the day, you can't just say I'm going to go shoot tiger and come back. Most
Yeah.
of the time, a lot of people go into the forest twice, thrice in a day, or in a day or two, and they don't find anything, and they get frustrated and they come back. And every time for them to go in and come out, it costs a lot of money. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you have to really become good with your photography skill as such,
Yeah.
and you have to be a really, really, you have to have really good eyes, and of course you have to spend a lot of your time shooting a lot of other wildlife photographs,
Mm.
and try and get assignments.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for National Geographic. Get assignments for your local magazine. Get assignments so that your basic expenditure is taken care of, and at the end of the day, you do give a good product to them. So you develop a rapport with the
Yeah.
magazine, or stuff like that. Or you have a lot of money, then yeah, go ahead, shoot as much as you want, and then you put up exhibition, and you know
Sure.
people might buy it, even if they buy 4 5 photographs. That's a great thing for you, and then it'll encourage you to do more, you know
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, and
So,
maybe you can tie up with scientists, researchers, on what they're doing research about, and then shoot for them. uh,
yeah.
so it'll also be helpful for them, and then you'll also get a lot of experience in shooting wildlife, lighting up. If say they're doing some research on insects or snakes or something, then you know how to shoot them, then you learn how to shoot light up for that. Or you want to shoot with natural lighting, then you learn a lot. See, basic thing is, there is, in India at least, we don't have some school or something where you can go and learn everything, come out the next day you're a professional.
Yeah.
Like any art field, even architecture, what you're doing, you learn every day. you know so
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, when it comes to this, it's no different. You'll learn. You'll face new challenges every day. You'll be facing new obstacles every day, and you just have to keep going over them and learning. The more you learn, the better you are, and probably more questions you'll have, and the humble you'll become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so once you actually decide you're getting into, let's say, wildlife filmmaking, what are the different ways that you can either sell your films or sell the services of making the films for people as commissioned projects?
You need to have a very basic story, and then you go and pitch it
Okay.
to commissioners, and who will look at you and say, if you have good experience, then they might commission it. Otherwise, they might not. They will say you need a little more experience. Basically, they're putting in money, and they want to make sure that you can deliver the product.
Sure.
So for that, they want you to have a good profile. For you to have many films, or like one or two really big films in your pocket, to gain their trust. For that, you need somebody like them to produce it, and for them to produce it, they need 2-3 films with you. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So the next best option is find your own way to produce the film, or you can do half the film. You put in your heart and soul, and get like really really interesting footage. Yeah, that's another way to approach. You get like this. Just go out there, forget about money, forget about the project. Just put your heart and soul. Get amazing footage that nobody has ever seen, or like commissioners are really interested in,
Okay.
and use that footage and build your story around it,
Okay.
and get the commissioners interested in that. Or the third option is just you finish your film and then sell it to somebody. Yeah, so I feel the third option is to make your own film the way you want to tell the story, however you want it, with whatever shots you want, and then try and sell the film, which is high risk. If you're pumping in a lot of money from your pocket, there is a big chance that nobody might buy it, or you might be able to sell it.
And that is essentially self-production, right?
Self production, yeah.
Yeah.